So, I've got something super cool for us to talk about. So, I don't know if you've heard about this. You probably have, but anyway, I was reading about this Roblox soccer game I used to play, and how, basically it was once one of the more sort of popular and unique sort of soccer games, but now it's become this sort of woke wasteland. And well, isn't that just kind of sad, but also sort of fascinating, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I heard about this. I used to play the game all the time. In my opinion, it's up there with some of the worst gaming atrocities to date. Like the reasons for its downfall are so stupid, right? Like off the top of my head, one is, yes, the overall games community, especially with Golan's later changes and the whole inclusivity angle. Yuck. It has really polarized the player base. I mean, in the recent years, we've seen so many high ping players flood into the league who are so obviously using hacks and clumsy that even the corrupt staff had to ban them for it. But not even a day later, they are allowed back in because they can just buy themselves out of it using Robux they bought, using the pennies they stole from the guy from the other side of the favela who sells straw baskets and bananas or whatever. And sometimes even worse, they get proven innocent, which, come on, they are clearly not. Like, you are not fooling anybody with a brain when you literally slide someone from behind through their torso and still somehow get the ball.
Wow, surprising. Playing a Roblox soccer game as a woman. Anyway, yes, you've hit the nail on the head, really. You spoke about the public aspect of the community. You're right, it is basically non-existent now. Turning to the sort of league aspect, the pros, I suppose you could call them, it's basically the same. The core league community has, well, remained basically the same now for, I'd say, over 3 years, give or take, right? Because no one new is joining. And this is almost solely due to the fact the game is, well, a mess. Because, why would anyone with no connection to the old res go and waste time on the newer and significantly worse one? Only a few jobless bums, greasy neeks, and basement goblins from the older era are still playing because they are, not welcomed anywhere else, really. Because they kind of just suck in general as human beings and stuff. And for the rest of the legends, those who have probably moved on in life have left the rotting corpse of a game to be consumed by the worms, by which I'm referring to these cheating Latinos.
Right. I freaking hate those guys. And FYI, I am a man. But it's okay, though. I am currently only halfway through transitioning, so I get it. Anyway, fundamentally, low ping players should be able to win aerial duels, and high ping players should have the advantage of reach, right? How is it fair to add a mechanism that makes aerials fair when if I, as a player with an actual internet connection, can't reach a guy who is dribbling air from the other side of the pitch, but when I want to show my silky skills, they can totally come and steal my balls? My ball. Honestly, it's terrible. Ideas like these has to be why the activity just tanked. The game used to have over 100 players in public servers. And now what? Barely 5? That's wild. People clearly find the game too dodgy to even bother with.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I hope being a man brings you more happiness than being a woman. I know it has for me, huh? So, anyway, yeah, you are so right. If you can remember years ago, probably 2021 and earlier, all the way back to 2016 or whatever, dribbling was actually fun, fair, and fulfilling for the person dribbling. And also for the defender. Because, basically, however skillful the person was reflected how difficult it was to tackle them, so it felt fair. Not like nowadays, with this jarring close control tool I don't even know how to use, which, its sole purpose seems to be breaking React and getting an unfair speed advantage. What kind of weird mechanic is that to add to a game? Anyway, because of the multiple defensive sprint mechanics added into the game over the years, pretty much 99 times out of 100, now you can't even freaking dribble the soccer ball for more than 1 second before being bum-rushed, barged over, and slid from 200 studs away by some third-world Neanderthal on 300 ping who is blatantly hacking using a freaking leg extender, and is probably actually on 4,000 ping but has found a way to bypass the game limit playing on his black market PC stolen off the back of a truck or something. Dude, Like, also, whoever thought adding that freaking predict tackle to the game needs lynching on Mama? Hang them on a tree, bro. Hey, actually, I heard Golan, who did foolishly add it to the game, he did break his arm or something, or so I heard. So, like, I think justice has been served, really, right? Don't you think so too?
So right. So right, dude. Put that guy's neck in the noose right now. After all, he has committed a murder. The murder of his own game, so he absolutely deserves it. That's what I feel should happen, coming from a totally stable individual like myself. I mean, just go to a game today and you will see it. Like most friendlies and even some league games, people just end up trolling after conceding 2 or 3 goals, or maybe just right from kickoff. Rightly so, because gameplay is an absolute snore fest to play and never mind watch. And once your team is like 6 or 7 points behind the top spot in the league, you may as well just disband because what's the point? And let's face it, you are probably out of the cup competitions too. Or you could just disband anyway because the game stinks. I think that's what happens most of the time. But yeah, honestly, anyone still taking the game, like even somewhat seriously in the big old 2025 needs to be put on a register or something, definitely on a watch list at least. I think you will agree with that.
Yes, I do. Thanks, man. So, I suppose I better conclude it now. No better way to do that than with naming some of my favorite Res players I have had the pleasure to watch and play with, and also those who just had an evolutionary effect on the game itself. Obviously, this will only include players who are known for being great before the woke era. Duh. So, anyway, to start with, and I mean this is a pretty clear answer, the big man himself, Malik Dan. I mean, wow, this guy is a big, strong dude. If you ever saw him in the showers after the games, you would understand why. This man was honestly the guy you wanted in your team. Like, the dude could play anywhere and do anything. Top bloke. It is a shame he is obese now, though. The next player I got to tell you about is in South American who is actually not a Ricci bum, and that is Imex. This guy would honestly get like 3 red cards a game after scoring like 5 volleys with the pass tool and triggering the whole opposition team. Boy, oh boy, did that anger Galan? Like, that dude was sick of this guy scoring with pass click. So he basically went and made the most fundamental passing tool in his game obsolete for the whole of Res. Like, what a legend, honestly. I still won't forget when he got shot and killed in a preseason friendly when he was through on goal. The dude obviously had some quarrels with the cartel or something. Next up, we got Dakibo. Like, this guy was the guy you wanted as your manager and playmaker of your team, but I still don't think I've seen him dribble past a defender yet, though. He has tried to make a separate league only for Europeans because he is also against the woke version of Res. Sadly, after 5 attempts, he still has had no success with that. Next up, we've got Then, we got this fraud called Ant, who is basically just all PR, like the guy obviously has like 5 Ballon d'Ors and can carry a whole team to finals and first places, but we all know that is just because Lewis is Awesome 169 allowed him to do that. Obviously, we got to mention Lewis is Awesome 169 too, probably the best player Res has ever seen, let's face it, at least when the game was actually good anyway. Like, that guy could have probably dribbled the whole opposition team 10 times over, but decided to play defender because he could also defend a whole team too. The dude was insane. He got like 3 dribble mechanics removed off the face of the earth and 5 updates to nerf him. So, maybe it is his fault after all. Anyway, that concludes this. Thanks everyone for listening. I hope you have a lovely day or whatever. And hey, maybe one day Res will be great again.